felt that? Oh. 34 yards, touchdown. Now, one of the team managers, trainers, if you will, as they call them, told me that my father told the football team this after they scored this touchdown, or just before they scored. If you just give me one touchdown, I promise you, Gilbert will not score any more than that. If you give me this one touchdown, I promise you they won't score any more than that. Promise you. They won't do it. We are 14-0. 14-7. I promise you they won't score. Imagine your coach telling you that, and you believe it. You just believe that if he said it, we're going to do it. If he said that's what's going to happen, it's going to happen, because Coach Kitchings has got these guys basically like this in the front. Whatever he wanted them to do, they would do it. They believed in him just that much. So he told them, hey, if you score, they're not going to score anymore. Forget, they're not going to do it. So, next slide, please. Bam. They changed. 11,000 people were at the game. Like I said, they had an undefeated team. They were not the state champs. But here they are, Gilbert High School state championship team. Culminates the perfect season. It didn't get any better than that. Imagine what it's like to ride on that bus now 8 hours back to Jacksonville. Woo-hoo! Yeah. But guess what? There's no fanfare for them when they get back. There's fanfare at Gilbert High School, but there's no fanfare from the city. This feat basically went under the radar. Only the blacks in the black community of Jacksonville knew about this. Imagine not being awarded something as prestigious as this after you won 11 games and you're the best there is, and nothing? Coach, we don't get nothing. No parade, no nothing. I mean, we did something at the school, but other than that, next slide. So, here's the final result of their season. 264 points they scored, average 24 points a game, only allowed 3.9 points a game. Next slide, please. Here's the facts of that team. They had 22 seniors. They lost 36 players from the 57 team. They had 10 players to earn all city, 8 players to earn all conference, 5 shutouts, 2 one-point victories. There's the team averages over there. This guy had 189 all-purpose yards in that game alone. Running, catching, kickoff returns. This gentleman scored the first team. That's what they did. That's what those guys on that football team did. Next slide. Here they are. Now, some of these guys could be your neighbor's grandfather, your neighbor's uncle, your great-great-grandfather. They could be related to you in some kind of way. Or you know somebody from this team some kind of way. I don't know. I've been curious just to find out. You know. Now, here's Bob Hayes right here. Now, Bob Hayes, as I said, was arguably the best athlete that ever came out of Jacksonville. He is definitely the only man in sports history to win a Super Bowl ring and 2 gold medals. The only athlete to ever have done it. He is in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. During his time with the Dallas Cowboys, he played at Dallas for about 10 years. During his time at Dallas, he averaged 19 yards a catch. I want you to think about that. If I throw that ball at him 4 times, 5 times, that's a touchdown. All I need is throw the ball to him. He is the guy that, in this day and time, when you see zone defenses, he's the guy that caused them to create the zone defense because he outran everybody else on the football field. He would just tell the quarterback to throw it, and I'll go get it. But he was not the starting running back that year. He was find the best back on the team. So these guys make up that team. Here are all the trophies that they earned. And those guys are a very special group of guys. Next slide, please. So, John Amos, Charles Kahn, my father, Principal James Kirkland, Kirkland McKenzie, Donald Dixon, Willie Haywood, Cicero Bell, Oliver Joyce. This guy here, he was the quarterback. This guy here, this is Roy Mitchell. He used to be the principal at Raines and at Lee. That's all the hardware they earned. Quick story about that trophy. I was over in Gilbert one day looking for some yearbooks within the book room, and the principal was showing me around. And I asked him, I said, well, what's that trophy right there? He said, I don't know. It's in the book room. You know what a book room is, right? It's like in a closet. He said, I don't know. I was like, really? So I'm looking at this picture, and I'm looking at that trophy. Now, the figurines on that trophy had been broken off, so all that was left was a broken half, but that football remained. So I asked him, can I have that? I think that's the state championship trophy. He said, I don't care. I'm like, okay. Thank you. I took the trophy and refurbished it, had the figurines, not those same ones because they don't make some of those anymore, but I had figurines put on that trophy. That is the base, that is the football of that state championship trophy. Next slide, please. Just so you can get a comparison. And that's not plastic, that's real metal. That's real metal, that's not plastic. So I refurbished that trophy because it was so important that I gotta have it. Next slide, please. So in 2008, 50 years after they won the FIAA's first state championship football game for Black High School, this team was presented with 2 trophies by the Duval School Board, proclamations by the city and the state. The FHSAA selected them as team of the decade of 1950. An alumnus of the school, Oliver Seabrooks, presented them with lemon jackets in the championship. 50 years later. 50 years later, they got their due. 50 years later, they got that ring. Now, that's what they play for. They want that ring. They got that jacket. They got that ring. They got honored. The city honored them. The state honored them. I honored them. I honored them and I honored my father because if this story falls by the wayside, a piece of history gets lost. You would think there was never a great football team in this city when they were segregation. There were a lot of them. This one just happened to win. Next slide, please. Next slide. Just so you would know what he looks like kind of closer. In 1960, my father took his 1960 football team back to the state championship. They lost, but they won. So in 3 years, he went to the state championship. I will entertain any questions that you may have. Yes, ma'am. No, I'm sorry to say my father passed in 2009. My father passed on the Monday before Easter. He passed quietly in his sleep. And with him passing, I said, if he passed on the Monday going into Easter, he was definitely going to heaven. So I looked at that as a blessing simply because of the time. Yes, ma'am.
When they came back to get their wings and everything back in Gilbert, was most of them still alive? Like, did you get
at the time when they did it in 2008, there were probably about 25, almost 30 guys still alive. And, I'm sorry, and there are still, to this day, I know there are 20 guys that are still alive from that. And they are just as proud now as they were in 1950. Yes, ma'am? The football field at Raines High School is named after my father. The field at Raines High School, the stadium, is named after my father. William Raines High School is named after the former principal at Gilbert. So there's a connection between Raines and Gilbert that is kind of fine thread. But, yes, ma'am.
Did your father ever tell you what Coach Small said to him when he beat him?
Miss Sapp, you know, I never asked my father that question.
Coach Small was his father's coach. So when he beat him in the classic, I want to know how did his father and his former coach reacted toward each other.
I'm sure they had a gentleman handshake and a pat on the back, and they walked off the field. Yes, ma'am.
Are you into coaching?
Yes and no. I'm nothing close to what my father was in coaching football. I have done some coaching in soccer. I played soccer in high school. But I think my calling is what I'm doing right now. I think that's my calling. Yes, sir.
Why did they stop having the game?
Which game?
The one that they got that game.
They had that game up until November of '69, when they closed Gilbert and made it a middle school. Gilbert High School no longer exists, and it has not existed as a high school since then. The students at Gilbert the very next year were sent to Andrew Jackson. So you basically closed a school. It's normal.
I'm interested in the prayer that you say your father said.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Northern, for asking that question. The prayer. That prayer would say this: God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us this far along the way, thou who is with thy might brought us into the light, lead us into the path. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. It is the third verse of Lift Every Voice and Sing. So when I finally figured that out, I went like, oh my God. How do you take that verse and make it your prayer for your football players? I was asking myself, how did he come to do that? Because that's just not something, you try to ad-lib a prayer, but he pulled that from that song. Ironically, that song was written by James Weldon Johnson and his brother. Ironically, James Weldon Johnson was the principal of Stanton High School at the time. So it's just some ironies that happen. But he would say that prayer every game religiously. And I tell you, on certain nights, I guarantee you on the night they were going to play Stanton, after they said that prayer, if you've ever been fired up to do something in your life, you ever just got really emotionally charged up, that's what it was like. Because from that prayer, they would get on the bus. Now, Gilbert is not that far from the stadium. Gilbert is right off of Franklin Street. I mean, it would literally take you less than 5 minutes to drive from Gilbert to where Eric Banks Field is. I mean, literally. So they would get on the bus, and they would do one thing when they got on the bus. They would sing the Lord's Prayer. to hear them singing that prayer was even more emotional, because you got men who are crying while they're singing this prayer. That's the emotion they were filled with to perform that night. So the first time I got on the one, like I said, I was a bus guy. And I got on that bus that night, and they started singing. It was like a chorus, a choir. I'm like, you're singing this prayer. And you can just feel their emotion just pouring out of them. So now after they do that, and the bus pulls up to the stadium, that other emotion comes out of them, and they're ready to play football. Yeah, another question. I went to Reigns. I went to Reigns. As a matter of fact, I grew up right off of Avenue B and Edgewood. Right off of Avenue B and Edgewood. So I would basically walk to Reigns. I wouldn't ride to school with my father when I was in high school, because it's already bad enough he's my father at the school. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, your father's at the school. How many of you ever cut class in high school? All right. I'm not trying to put you out there. I just want you to understand that I couldn't cut. That was not an option. Cutting the class, because as soon as I did, what's going on? Coach Kitchens, are your son cut class today? No. I don't want to have to deal with this guy. So I went to Reigns. Had they not built Reigns, because what they did was they closed Northwestern, which is now Northwestern Middle School, because it used to be a high school. It used to be a junior senior high school. They closed Northwestern and built Reigns. All right. Now, when you look at where Reigns is built, what's the next closest school to Reigns? You think they thought about that when they built Reigns that close to Revolve, that within a matter of 5 to 6 years there would be integration? Okay, I mean, well, I'm just saying, to build a school that close, I mean, if you ride around town and look at where one high school is compared to another high school, it's not within a half a mile.
Less than a mile.
That's what I'm saying. But still, it's not like being from where, say, Lee is to Jackson, or where Wolfson is to Inglewood, or where Fletcher is to Sandalwood. Nobody has that kind of close proximity with those two high schools. And that was done because their thinking was that segregation probably was going to go on for a lot longer than they thought. So they built Reigns, closed Northwestern, and made it just a junior high school. And then, like I said, within 7 years, they integrated the school system. So we have what we have. We have what we have. Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your attention today. I appreciate it.
Don't get your.
Now, Miss Northern was my librarian when I was in high school. I didn't have a choice. Miss Northern would have told my father she saw me cutting class. I mean, and it wouldn't even be like, okay, so he should have been cutting class. You know, you know better. You know you shouldn't be cutting class. So, I will say this. I really didn't cut class until one day in my 12th grade year. Me and one of my best friends who was on the football team, we went, he had a car, so we left campus and went to Burger King over on King Road. We just go around the corner. When I got back, right?
Your daddy was outside.
No, my dad was not working at Reigns my last 2 years. He was at Fletcher. He was at the beach. But as soon as we got back on campus, some of my teammates said, Earl, Dean looking for you. I'm like, oh. I gotta go to the dean's office, man. Somebody told that we cut class and left campus, and they said, no, we just playing. I'm like, do that because as soon as I go down there, the phone is ringing at Fletcher High School, and by the time I get home and he gets home, why were you not in school at this particular time? I don't care being a senior high school. My father would have done the traditional discipline that they did back in those days. I don't know if you were aware of what they used to do, but when you went to the dean's office, the dean would tell you to put your hands on the desk like this. So I don't want to deal with that when I get home. I like my perks and benefits, being able to get in the car and go when I want to go and think, I don't need any trouble. But again, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause. I want to thank Patricia Butler's class for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Butler.
Really interactive. Thank you so much for being our
Thank you, my
baby.
technical assistant. Boy, I know what I was
And Mildred is one of our outside guests. She's also a librarian who works with me upstairs. Library learning home. So thank you all for coming. We have some punch in the back, and it looks like there may be some goodies.
Wait, breathe.
If you haven't